So Druski might have done his big one with his skit that hit my timeline yesterday. I am currently going viral right now because of my video. Shout out to Druski, he reposted it. And it felt like perfect timing because I've actually shifted my content strictly talking about music to talking about more of humanity topics, mainly such as spirituality and religion. So Druski has all of the internet in an uproar, and instantly when I turned on the video, a second in, I already knew who this was targeted to, and what this video is about, and the uproar it was gonna cause. I saw that it got 1 million likes in like 10 minutes. I could not believe it. But it was more than a skit. Druski put up a mirror that was definitely needed. So like I said, with my content, I'm transitioning over into some things that I'm passionate about. And one of the things I'm passionate about is God. And that's the number one thing, relationship of I love my life, of course, being a mom and everything. The number one relationship. And as time goes on, I have found that there is a real sickness going on. And the sickness is people have strayed far from the plot of faith in the church. So I was actually going to talk about this topic, which is crazy, but Druski beat me to it. And not only did Druski beat me to it, he provided a skit that was absolutely hilarious. I'm telling you, it looked like Breezy Bowl. Him being that pastor, the crowd, him looking like he's Chris Brown in this harness, to every scene, the scene where he's counting the money at the end, the scene where he is like, congregation, I need to get this 4 million right now. Okay. We about to, do some amazing things with this church. And, even the part where he's in the Bentley and, somebody's trying to touch the car and he's like, nah, get off. I was going to talk about this, but I'm really happy that Druski beat me to it, because I feel like if it would have been me first, people wouldn't have taken it lightly. And y'all know my last video, I told you guys, I'm really big on truth. Like, I don't know if that's just me being an Aquarius or what. I'm really big on truth, and I'm a humanitarian. I have a natural humanitarian spirit. So I like to tell people what I see, and I just can't lie. I just can't lie. And I just have like an itching feel on a day-to-day basis to share the truth and spread the truth. And one truth that I have been frequently recording and deleting is videos of me talking about people have lost the plot of faith. So with that, so I moved to Houston, Texas in April, and I see things in patterns. Like, that's like how I see life. Even since a child, I've always noticed that, okay, this happened. I sense this sign, so this is gonna happen next. And I feel like God gives me that ability to see life in patterns. So I could either save somebody or I can save myself, okay? But most of the time I want to save other people. We have been misled in humanity that putting God and other people. So for example, if this person shows up with a Bible, if this person shows up on a pedestal, or opens up his Bible on there and has a whole crowd that God is speaking through them. And I have nothing wrong with church. I don't hate church, but church is like 50-50 with me. Like, you're either 50 gonna have a great experience, or the other 50, it's gonna be very uncomfortable. So people have lost the plot of church. I went through something after I had my daughter in July of 2024, and I had my first encounter with somebody that I felt like was moving off of evil spirits, because they were weaponizing God. Like, they would say things like, I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray for you. And I actually caught myself saying that to somebody recently. And I was like, oh, like, that's disgusting. Like, that stuff is contagious. I never said that before. And I said it once, and I just immediately had to repent and apologize, because, in this world, we get caught up in a whole lot of bullshit, and it's just contagious at this point. So that's why I said I feel like there's an epidemic outside, maybe pandemic, and it's of people that are utilizing the Bible as a weapon, utilizing God as a weapon, utilizing faith as a weapon, for their own benefit. And the main plot of church, religion and spirituality, God, Jesus, the main point is to bring people together. This person is white, but that's my brother, that's my sister. This person is Asian, but that's my brother and sister. These people are not perfect, but that's still my brother and sister. Humanity. We're supposed to be together. But yes, that situation I went through, besides, when I heard them say, I'm gonna pray for you, it made me think of this world. And, saying I'm gonna pray for you is, to me, the ultimate disrespect, because you're using prayer as a weapon, you're using Bible as a weapon. I'm gonna pray for you is very dismissive. I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray for you. It's very dismissive, and I feel it's very evil, has a lot of evil energy behind it. And I hate that. I hate that people weaponize that. I hate that people use that. And when I hear I'm gonna pray for you, it's very disappointing, because it doesn't sound good at all. You know what I'm saying? If you ever had somebody say, I'm gonna pray for you, tell me how you felt after that. Additionally, if you're gonna pray for somebody, right? And if you're actually somebody that walks with God, when you say, I'm gonna pray for you, you're gonna say, I'm gonna pray for you because I see that you're going through a lot and you're doing some really disrespectful stuff. So I really hope that, God heals your spirit so we could, make this work. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to just be, I'm going to pray for you, dismissive. It's going to be intentional. I'm going to pray for you because I see you can't really control your anger. Therefore, I pray that God helps you feel happiness and joy so you can fight through whatever battles you are fighting through. But just know I love you. You know what I'm saying? That's the spirit of God, and that's the intention that needs to be there when I hear the words I pray for you. So what this has to do with Druski'S skit. So Druski is cosplaying a pastor of a mega church. With mega churches, they've never sat right with me because of this. It's massive. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to a mega church, but production crew, marketing team, lights, cameras, the highest definition of cameras, food. It's literally like the club. Sometimes with these mega churches that I've been to, I feel like, damn, all I need is, we already got valet, the police be out there, waving their flags or whatever. I was like, okay, we already got valet. All I'm missing is paying $100 for this parking spot, maybe a hookah, and maybe some lamb chops. I feel like at this point, that's all I'm missing, because I feel like I'm in the club, and it's just, that's just how it is. So in those seconds I watched that video, I was like, oh hell, Druski now. Druski. I mean, I wasn't gonna do it, but I'd rather you do it because you're hilarious. And, people already trust whatever you say. I'm new here, so yeah. I was like, Druski, man, no. Okay, so this is real life. A lot of people see this as a skit, but a lot of people don't know that this is really real life. That was not a over dramatic view of a mega church. It was not over dramatic at all. This is real life. Okay, so I say all that to say, so with the mega churches, my personal experience, I have been to 2 churches since I moved to Houston, Texas in April. And like I said, patterns. The first time I went, I did not feel the Spirit of God in the room. Every other church I've been to, I've always felt like, leaving the sermon, service, I would leave feeling healed, like a part of me healed. And every church I went to, twice, I left feeling so much anxiety. And y'all know, God isn't confusing. They say the devil is confusing, but I'm not trying to do all that. What I'm trying to say is, I just don't feel it. The first time I went, besides the celebrity being there, I understand, celebrities still got to go to church too, but it was just a little, I don't know, it was just something about it. And even like the pastor, when he was talking, it didn't feel like he was talking through God. I feel like he was talking through himself. And it's like, I just felt like we was just all in the group chat. Even like the people around the room, I didn't feel like that warmth. I didn't feel it. I just felt like maybe this was just another day of their schedule, I'm very intuitive, so I could really feel a whole room. I can feel a whole room. The second one though, I made another attempt maybe like 4 or 5 months later, and we made a second attempt. We made a second attempt. And this church was even bigger than the last church, but it was the same thing. But what was weirder is that I was sitting in the car and I was just watching, the people leave for the last service and the people going to the next service. And I was like, dang, they dress like they're about to go to the club. And I'm not that kind of person. Like, I be dressed, pretty revealing or whatever. But I'm not that kind of person that, sits and like, but it was just very strange. It was very strange. And even when I went inside, like, I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel good. It felt like everybody was just, just working a job, just doing their job. And this is just what they do on a Sunday. Like, that's just how it felt. It didn't feel like it had any like real purpose. And even when the pastor was talking, was really weird. Because yes, he had that Bible in front of him, but it's like I was listening to a TikTok video or something. Like, I was listening to some trendy video. Like, his whole sermon was about relationships and sex. And yes, these are the things that make up our lives, but demographic was weird. Like, I've never been, those 2 churches, one thing I realized they had in common is it's like they have a demographic. And with God don't got no demographic, okay? He don't got one. We're his children. We're all his children. He don't see black. He don't see white. He don't see the lustful person. He don't see, like, we're all together. Although these things are things that make up life, we are all together. And it was just very uncomfortable because it's like, why are we speaking to a demographic? Why aren't we speaking to people's hearts and souls? And that was pretty weird to me. And, besides that, just me being a communications and media studies, got my bachelor's in that department. I really understand marketing, so I can see past the curtain. Like, if I'm somewhere, I'm like, okay, well, this is marketing. So I'm that kind of person. I can see that. And I could see past the curtain. So the last church I went to, I was like, oh, like they're getting like the people 20, maybe between the age of like 20 to 35 or 40, you know, trying to steer them into a direction of wanting to slow down and rethink their relationships and stuff, rethink their relationships. And that's just pretty strange because, you know, most of the time when people go to church, besides it being something on their schedule, a lot of times people go there because they just want to release. They want to hear words that uplift them, empower them. They want to hear that God is very much real. All of this worldly shit, like this shit don't matter. And that's the epitome of Druski'S skit. That was not a overreaction of what the mega church is, but these mega churches have become very fleshly. You know, wearing designer, dressing like you're gonna go to the club. You're only there because you're trying to find the last church. I didn't include that. The demographic and the marketing was for basically for people to find a relationship in the church, like dating in the church, like speed dating but church. That's what I caught on to. And yes, everybody needs to find love, but just understand, you guys, the way it was gone about, no. But these mega churches have become so fleshly, fleshful, you know, designer clothes and the gimmicks, collecting all the money. Where's this money going? The things that they say, like Druski said, I'm gonna impregnate you with the word of God. That was the most funny part to a lot of people, but to me, that was the most realest part because, like I said, with that marketing strategy thing, that using trendy things to get the word to a specific demographic. Why do you have to do all these gimmicks? Just say the word. You know what I'm saying? Just say the word. You're going about, you putting on the designer, you getting in the air, getting in this contraption, and you are saying these sayings, and you are maybe possibly getting celebrities as influencers to come to your church to show that they went to your church. It's just weird. And if the goal is to get younger people to come to church, all that fleshful stuff, it shouldn't matter because God don't know nothing about that stuff. You know, I don't know if you're watching this. I don't know how close you are with God, but he don't give nothing about it. Like, he don't care. He don't care. God cares about our souls once we reach those doors, afterlife. He cares about our souls. Did we do good things? Did we try our best? Because like I said in my last videos, nobody is perfect. The only perfect being to ever exist was Jesus Christ. We are not perfect, but we have to try our best. So abusing church and abusing the Bible and abusing God is not the way. It's not the way. And the saddest part about everything, and I think I talked on this a couple times in my last video, the saddest part about everything is people are losing the plot when it comes to God. The main thing is to love your neighbor. And I said this in my last video, and I have to keep repeating that because people are so mean. People are so hurtful. People are so destructive. People are so disconnected. People are sliming people out. Sliming people out, use that word. Sliming people out. Trying to get over the next person. Lying, abusing, manipulating, narcissism. I feel like churches are bringing a lot of narcissistic people. I want to touch that randomly as well. A lot of people on social media are using the word narcissist. I want to correct y'all, okay? Everybody has narcissistic traits in some kind of way. But what makes the actual narcissist with the disorder is somebody that lacks empathy. So if they hear, hey, this hurts me. Nothing. They feel nothing. They don't evolve. They stay in themselves. They seek to whatever, they just want to feed them. And these are the same people that be going to church. I remember the situation I was talking with y'all about earlier, my first encounter. I told this woman, you hurt me so much. Like, you hurt me so much. And one of my family members told me, like, Tracy, why would you tell them that you hurt them so much? You were hurting so much. And I said, because I'm a child of God. Why would I lie? Why would I lie that I'm hurt? That what they did was cruel. You know, trying to physically abuse me 2 days after I had my child for absolutely no reason. Like, and I told her that. I told her, this is a grown adult, by the way, in church every Sunday, blasting gospel music out their car. And I said, you hurt me so much. Like, you hurt me so much. And you know what she said? You need to go to therapy for that. I'm going to pray for you. So at this point, I feel like a lot of people are going to church to add fuel to that narcissistic personality. The devil was a narcissist, by the way, for sure. For sure. It's like, and I want to bring this into my last subject. Somebody, I want to get it word by word. I'm going to put it on the screen, or I'm just going to try to say it. And I asked them to elaborate on this because I was like, you're onto something. Because something I found within Black churches, it's very control based. Like, we are preaching this word and using this Bible to control. I'm gonna pray for you for control. And that's just not okay. And I don't know where that began. But I do see the pattern, especially in Black churches, using these different things for power, using the church for power to make people think in this messed up way that they do. You know, these pastors, the congregation. You know, if you are somebody that could intentionally hurt somebody, or you know that you hurt somebody, you are one step closer to the devil and one step further away from God. And that's what I really do believe. And that's why I said, like, people are so missing the plot. Look at the end of Druski'S video and the pastor counting the money and with all the money, and he just slimed them out. And I have no doubt about this, that a lot of times that could be true. And it's sad. It's sad. It's very sad. So that was my experiences in the mega church. That's what I want to say. I also missed one point. We're talking about the last mega church I went to. Besides, you know, the pastor talking about the things he was talking about, he would consistently bring up his wife, but it wasn't a way like, you know, I have a wife and, you know, just like, however, tying up a message with it. It was more like a peacock showing off its feathers. Like, yeah, I have this wife. I'm, you know, better, and people need to. It was very boisterous. And like I said, it's like a peacock showing off their feathers. So I really want to thank Druski for doing this. I'm glad it was him and not me, because like I said, this was in the list of my videos anyways, because I want to share my experience. And yeah, these pastors, a lot of them, you know, it's not all of them, but it is a serious sickness out here that's going around. And, you know, they would have like the most beautiful, expensive cars. You know, they're getting all the money from the congregation, and, you know, they're using the word to, you know, manipulate and all that stuff and deceive. But it's not all churches, it's not all pastors. And I'm happy Druski brought attention to this, because there definitely does need to be a change. And additionally, like, for the pastors and, you know, the churches that are eating off of, you know, these people's, you know, money or whatever, a lot of these people that come into these churches are suffering, battling sicknesses, just lost a family member, feeling like they're on the edge, they don't want to be here no more. I too have been one of those people in the crowd to where I would hear a pastor speak and it would just bring tears, smiles. I'm sorry, I get emotional every time I talk about God's favor. Yeah, there's people that are really going through it and they come to these churches to get saved, and they come to these churches to feel empowered and to feel God's spirit again. And a lot of these pastors, they're not doing that. They're not getting their words from up above. They're getting their words from narcissism and ego. And I'm just really appreciative that Druski did this video. It was very hilarious, but as you can see, I'm almost in tears here because it hit a nerve that I think about on a day-to-day basis. And I want better for our people. I want people to get closer to God. I want people to love their neighbor, black, white, Spanish, I don't care. And I want people to get back down to the root. And that's my video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section on what you thought of this skit. Are you somebody that's against it? Also, tell me about your experience with churches. Did I say anything that possibly reminded you of a specific experience? Put it in the comment section down below. But besides that, my name is Tracy VA, and I keep it real, relevant, and resonating, and touch on very important topics. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at tracyvamedia, on TikTok at tracyvamedia. Hit the subscribe button, share this video, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.